boys were raised in the inner city who lived on the same block. All went to the same schools, played at the same parks. Their mothers went to school together. Fathers went to school together. Their whole families went to school together. These 5 boys had love for each other. Until one day one of them moved 20 blocks to the west. Other one moved 20 blocks to the east. Another one moved 20 blocks to the north. And the other 20 blocks to the south. But one of them stayed in that neighborhood and never moved. They all joined organizations in the neighborhood for different reasons. Some to belong, some to feel protected, some for loyalty to the neighborhood, and some to protect the neighborhood. But these 5 boys are now enemies. Why? Because of the block? These boys don't speak to each other anymore. Why? Because of the block. These 5 boys don't hate each other, but they will kill one another. Why? For the block. The block. What happened to the love on the block? What happened to the community on the block where everyone held you accountable? People, it's time to get back to the block.
What's up, Chicagoland area? Welcome to the block. My name is Todd Clark. Listen, we're excited for you guys to join us today, the block community, and those who are in studio today. We have a full family in here today supporting this awesome podcast. Our goal is to have conversations that build relationships, implement strategies, and create solutions for community reform. Listen, today we're excited because we have some wonderful guests in the studio who are going to talk about their journey as we still deal with the 7 mountains of influence. Today, we're going to be focusing on business and entrepreneurship. Business and entrepreneurship. As I said previously in the previous episodes, we are focusing on organizations, companies, individuals who are dominating in the field of family, business, arts and entertainment, government, politics, business and entrepreneurship. All of those areas are areas that, when influence, they shape the culture and the mindset of society. And so we're going to be teaming up with also schools and organizations who have programs who focus on building up families in those areas. Some of those schools are on the east side of Chicago. We're primarily focusing on the Chicagoland area because our desire is to deal with the recidivism rate, the crime rate, the high school dropout rate, and the prison rate in this city. And so we want to create solutions and also give some resources that will help the families navigate the crime rate and what's going on in their communities. And so today we're going to talk about business and entrepreneurship. How many of us know that in the inner city, 70% of the businesses that are in the inner city have employed individuals, and they're small businesses? At least 70% of the inner city businesses are small businesses who've employed several ethnicities and cultures. And also in the black community, it dominates as well. And so we want to find out, how can we utilize some of the skills and some of the practices that those who have been successful in those areas to help bring in other families and other youth who may want to dominate in that area as well. And so today we have 2 awesome guests with us today. We have Tacana Henry, and Tacana is a chef, and I want to go further into her business. We're going to do a full description a little bit later, but she's an awesome woman, an awesome entrepreneur. She has delved into this area of entrepreneurship for many years now, and she's dominating in that area. She's impacted so many lives, and we're going to talk about specifically how she's impacted those lives a little bit later on. And as well, we have Mr. Marcus Rembert, who is the owner and also a broker in a realty firm in Plainfield area, who has dominated in that area as well. And so he has taken his expertise and also training young people in that area to how to develop skills in the real estate area. And so I want to say welcome to the show today. Thank you all for being here. Yes. And so we want to get right into it, but I want to talk about something first, something that we really are gearing. This is the reason why we are having this conversation, because being from the inner city, these 2 individuals know exactly what the obstacles are for youth in order to be successful. And so let me give you some stats. In 2025, Chicago recorded 416 homicides, making a significant, nearly 30% decline from 2024 and the lowest since 1965. Despite this substantial improvement, 49 of 77 community areas still experience homicide rates above the national rates. And so that's devastating. Even though we've seen improvements as far as in certain months of the year, we can't celebrate those improvements because we see that it's still devastating our communities. We've seen the homicide rate. We've seen the mentality that fosters the homicide rate. So the question on the block is what we want to do is offer solutions. This is a solution-based podcast. We don't want to just talk about what we see and know that's going on, but what we want to do, we want to create solutions and offer resources. And so today we're going to talk about business and entrepreneurship. And I want to ask those viewers who are watching, where's your passion concerning these statistics? And where's your passion concerning getting these numbers down to zero? Where's that there's no murders, no crimes, no robberies? You know, we have a long way to go, but we have to come together as a community to rid this city of these things. How many of y'all remember the time when a community raised each other? You know, you remember the times when if you got in trouble at one end of the block, you got in trouble all the way down the block. And then mom was embarrassed because you got in trouble all the way down the block. And she said, go inside the house and get ready to get dealt with. That was a beautiful time because at that time, parents was not upset when another parent disciplined their child. And so what happened to that? What happened to that? That's what we want to get back to. And so today we're talking about entrepreneurship. And what I want to do, I want to play a video. It's a short video, about a minute and I guess 2 minutes, about business and entrepreneurship.
What exactly is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is a person with an idea for a product or service. They decide to start a business which brings this idea to life. Maybe they've always dreamed of opening their own boutique. Or maybe they want to create an app which millions of people will use. So the dream of an entrepreneur can be big or small, but most of the successful ones share a number of characteristics. They're passionate, motivated, independent, and creative. Entrepreneurs love thinking outside the box. They're always looking to expand their knowledge, break out of their comfort zone, and find new opportunities in the marketplace. They don't just accept things as they are. They also believe that their ideas have value and that they have something special to bring to the table. So what do you think? Could you be an entrepreneur?
Block community, could you ask yourself that question as we go along with this conversation today? I want to ask, as we talk to these two wonderful people, Ms. Tacana, I just want to say thank you for coming, first of all.
Thank you.
Marcus, thank you for coming. Tacana, I want to ask you if you can just give us an idea about who is Tacana Henry? Where did you come from? And just talk to the people.
Okay, well, I am Tacana. I'm Chef Tacana Henry of Tacana's Kitchen. I am born and raised on the south side of Chicago. I'm a former disciplinary educator, meaning I was a dean of discipline at a school on the west side of Chicago. Culinary instructor. I'm a naturopathic practitioner. I believe that food can really change everything. I teach people how to heal through their gut. And I teach students how to utilize those skill sets and things that I've shown them through in their culinary to help them throughout their life. It's not just about the food. It's about the conversation with the children. It's about helping them to understand how to develop their mindset, to see if you want to become an entrepreneur or whatever it is that you want to be. You have to be disciplined in it. And so those are some just basic skills that I do give to everybody that I communicate with, not just my students. So that's who I am. I just believe that food now has become my avenue of education.
Yes. And you have been impacting and affecting positively many lives as a result of your passion. And so, Marcus, can you tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and just share with the people?
Yep. So Marcus Rembert, I am a proud product of the South Side, specifically the South Shore area, and went to high school, Hyde Park Career Academy, and born and raised in Chicago, and once I got out of school, got into corporate real estate, and then into project management with a software company.
Yeah.
And probably about 10 years into that process, I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to get into real estate.
Yes.
And so I ended up getting my real estate license earlier that year while I was still working in corporate.
Wow.
And later that year, I got downsized. So
Okay. I didn't know that.
So I just jumped in with both feet.
Yeah.
Talked to my wife and say, hey, I think this is a risk
Smart
worth
man,
taking.
talk to the wife first.
Man, hey, we got to go about things the right way.
That's
right. So went and jumped in both feet in 2013, late 2013.
Yeah.
And so I've learned a lot. Probably the best way for me to learn was to go into it that way. In fact, my first client was a Chinese lady who spoke broken English. So
Really?
that forced me to learn how to communicate
Yes.
clearly, with someone and guide them through a process. It's already hard enough to buy a home.
Right.
But when you helping someone buy a home when English is not their first language.
Yeah.
So, it's tough, but it worked out, and she referred me to some of her other friends who were immigrating here from China. So that, which was like, for me, was like a big, I was proud of that. Cause that meant, okay, you trust me, and even with the language barrier,
right.
So
that's awesome.
So real estate, man, I always tell people, if you want to understand the psychology of people and business in general, real estate is a great way. So it's work, but it's a great way to go.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. You know what? And you kind of jumped into the second question about the obstacles that maybe you faced to develop that business or entrepreneurship mindset. And so, Tacana, I want to ask you, what obstacles along the way, have you faced to even get to the point that you want to be an entrepreneur?
Wow. So the obstacle, and this is probably not something that you guys would even think that I would say, but my biggest obstacle was when I was 27, I was diagnosed with lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, Raynaud's syndrome, and I was told I wouldn't see the age of 30.
Wow.
I had finished college. I had done all the things I was told to do. I did not have children before I was married. I'd done all the things.
Wow.
But I had to make a mindset shift because where the doctors were saying, these are the barriers, these are the things you won't be able to do, and then you could potentially lose your life.
Right.
I looked at that because I'm extremely and have always been called rebellious.
Yeah.
But it's really not a negative, it's a positive, because it's always worked in my favor to go against the grain and ignore what I'm being told that I cannot do.
Yes.
So for me, becoming an entrepreneur, I had to, and the obstacle that I was dealing with was my health, right? Morbidity. I did not see beyond the diagnosis initially.
Okay.
And then I start bucking against it.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, it's a mind shift. I had to change what was being said to me into what I could use to work through it.
Yes.
To get over that and went as far as going back to the doctor at age 31 and said, hey, I'm still here.
Right.
But I had to make some mind changes. I couldn't listen to the dogma of, well, just go along and get along. The doctor told you this. You got to deal with that. And then just be stuck with that crutch.
Right.
Because a lot of people hear something and it blocks them forever.
Right.
Because they're listening to somebody else's opinion.
Yes.
I never was concerned because, one, I didn't get the opinions or the responses that I always thought I should have gotten as a child.
Right.
So I was refusing to lie down and take it.
That's awesome.
And so the obstacle became a rug that I walked over.
Yeah.
And that I continued to move forward. And I can say today, without any doubt, I'm not living with lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, and Raynaud's. And I'm not saying that from a spiritual standpoint. I'm saying it from a holistic standpoint of I don't take medication for any of them.
Right.
The doctors can't find any of that.
That's amazing.
So that is because the mind shift for me, you can do anything in the world you want to, but your mind got to be right. Your mind goes first before the action. So that's
and you know what? That's good because that last statement, your mind goes first before the action.
Absolutely.
Shifting, that mind shift is everything. And so I wanted, because you got people from the inner cities who all have obstacles and they have things that make them feel like they're not competent or they're not able to be successful, and that they settle for the status quo. You know, we can only get money from the government. We can only, you know, live in certain areas or certain places. You have some people who feel that way, not all.
But your circumstances don't have to determine your future.
Right. And so that's what I want to, as a matter of fact, so those who are from that,
Yeah.
does everybody from the inner city, families and youth included, have the opportunity to come out of that mindset and develop their own business?
Correct.
You know?
It's about what you really want to do.
Yes.
Do you want to stay stagnant and just keep saying the woe is me and go with the status quo of, well, this is what happened with this individual and all of these people in my family, they never were able to get. You don't have to live by the pronunciation or the statements that were given to you or the ledger that you've read all your life. That ledger is for you to see it. It doesn't mean it's concrete and it has to be implanted into your mind and in your heart as your barrier. It means that's something I need to check off that I did better. I can do it.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna cross that out because they said I could do that too.
Yes.
That's the tenacity. That's the gumption. That's what you got to have. That fortitude to ignore what you hear.
Yes.
And like a horse, they put those blinders, or a dog, for example, when they're trying to keep him from, they put that thing on him and he can't hear or see anything around him. That's what you have to have, that doggedness to say, I don't really care.
Tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision. That stick-to-itness. I mean, that's amazing, Tacana, because I think, you know, that's the principle that we need in every area of our lives.
Absolutely.
To the point where that we close out the naysayers, people who don't see how we see, who may never see like we see, but having the passion to set a goal first, you know, to get the resources to be able to accomplish that goal and to go hard after it. And so those from the inner cities, you know, that have low income, come from poverty. So are we saying that they have the opportunity, you know, no matter what income status they are, no matter what they do have or don't have, that they can be successful in entrepreneurship?
Yep, and I want to piggyback on something Tacana said. Actually, I think first of all, like she used the word frequently, like mindset, mentality. You have to. I often when I'm coaching other people, you know, whether it's other real estate agents, other people in business, I always have the saying that your mindset is your greatest asset, right? So change actually doesn't. We live in a very materialistic world, so we think, oh, if I have this, that means I'm here.
Right, I'm at
it
this
doesn't.
status.
No,
right.
If you have it here first, that's the predictor of your success. So you have to be able to when you don't have anything, that's your advantage because now you get to be more resourceful than just depending on resources. Right. So like I always think of it like, you know, we grew up on the South Side. You know, my kids grew up mostly suburban. So they, when it comes to thinking about certain things and doing certain things, they are limited by this environment because they're like, oh, if I don't have a car, I can't go nowhere. Right. Or if I don't have, you know, or if I can't, you know, if I can't just go to this nice restaurant, then it's just nothing. Or how many times have you, if you know anybody who has kids, you know, you may go to Sam's Club or Costco and shop for a bunch of stuff, and your kids come and tell you there's nothing here to eat. Right. But because they are so used to, and I have a lot of empathy for this generation of kids. Yeah, because they are so used to having access to so much so soon. Yes. And so they, you know, whereas we had to, you know, my first car, my mom wasn't buying my car. No. She was like, you better, I'll go to the dealership and help you pick it out or give you my opinion, but you're going to pay for it. Exactly. That's you know, and so what that does, while it probably was frustrating for us on the front end, what that built in us is resilience. It did. In a certain mindset that like Tacana said, you know, there's nothing that I can't do or accomplish. That's right.
But I refuse to let anybody, and just to add to what you're saying, I agree that these kids are at a disadvantage because they have too much access. We grew up and we had to make a decision. That's your mind. Yep. Am I going to be a victim of my circumstances? Right. Or will I just ignore them because I don't want to live in them anymore? Right. Yep. Yep. Right. And if I get sick enough of this, the only thing that's going to happen is I'm either going to change it or or allow the familiarity of it to consume me, and I'll become more of it.
That's right.
We have a decision. And so it is that whole, and I hear the wealth mindset, and I hear people talking about that, and even what you were speaking about. And I just think about our kids. The worst thing that ever could have happened for our children, I feel, a lot of it is the television and a lot of the access to seeing things. And there's some very positive things that come with it, but it limits their ability to figure it out on their own.
That's right.
We would have to go outside and don't come back to the street lights come on. Now, if I got hungry, so-and-so down the street, her auntie might have some cookies.
That's right.
Or the penny lady at the,
At the corner.
or if I'm thirsty, I got to stop and get some water out the water hose. And that sounds so crazy to this generation.
Yeah.
But we had to figure it out.
Yes.
And as an adult in entrepreneurship, you still got to figure it out.
Right.
But having the capital
Yeah.
to figure it out is a lot different than having to use your brain
Right.
to figure it out. And
Right.
what I have learned is if I don't have the access to the capital, I'm still going to do better than the one with the capital.
Yeah.
Because I done figured out 100 different ways to do that one thing that you just threw money at.
That's right.
And after the money is gone, you don't know what okay, well, let me do this.
That's right.
I still can figure this out. So
right.
I think that's one of the things that we have to really deal with is that we can't allow our kids, these kids, to become victims to their limited thinking
Right.
of who they can become,
That's right.
despite what they see daily.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah. And you know what? With and that's good, Tacana, because just even the way we were raised, we were not taught business in school. We were taught to get your education, to get your college degree, and you go work for somebody. So my challenge is, or my question is, just to us, is how to, because of that, because most youth are not taught to work for themselves or to be bosses or to have their own.
True.
Or that they can have their own.
Right.
It's still instilled in them that they have to work for somebody, and if you get the best jobs, then you at a certain level. So are we saying that if we can instill that into youth and families, that would help them to have more control over their future, by having their own business or becoming the entrepreneurship and not working for somebody? What does that play a part, working for somebody and developing the mentality that you can take control of your future?
why can't you do both? I did.
Good.
I was 16. My mom didn't buy me a car. I spent $350 that I hustled doing nails in school.
Yes.
And I bought me a 1980 Volkswagen Rabbit on my own.
Yeah.
I learned how to change my own catalytic converter when it was acting a fool.
Come
I
on
learned
now.
when my muffler was, I learned how to do that on my own.
Right.
Because I didn't have access
Yes.
to the family support, to the financial needs. I didn't have it, but I needed to get to school.
Right.
I needed to get to all of these different programs and after school things that I was wanting to go to, that I was involved in. And she not gonna take me.
Right.
I'm going.
Right.
And I'm not going on the bus.
Right.
Our kids don't know that hustle. That to me, that's already
Yes.
so it can be both.
Yeah.
It can be I'm going and doing it this way. I went and got my degrees in psychology and juvenile delinquency and criminal. I went and did all of the things they said. I went and got the corporate jobs and stuff that they said, but I still I was doing nails until 2004.
Yeah.
Okay. I paid college off without loans and all of the craziness.
Yes.
Working at a nail salon on 79th Street.
Yeah.
That's how I paid college off.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. That's awesome.
But that's just something that kids don't see today.
Right.
It's not that they can't do it, because I've come across some amazing young people in these schools that I'm at. They are doing those things.
Right.
But some of them, the bulk of them, they don't even see beyond today.
Yes.
So when we're having this conversation about can they do, or should they still go on that trajectory of, okay, I'm going to go and get my degree and I'm going to do this, and then, or I'm going to be an entrepreneur. We're dealing with some of these kids that can't see beyond today.
Right.
And that's why they make a lot of impulsive actions and do things, because they don't see consequences beyond today.
Right. That's right.
So that's also something that we have to factor,
Yes.
because I know a lot of the kids that I was interacting with that were street pharmaceutical employers, when they would get in trouble and I was the dean, they would come to my office and I refused to let them do out of school suspension.
Right.
Because what you out here pushing, I'm licensed in.
Yes.
So you're going to sit here and learn the right way.
Right.
You want to sell it? Let me tell you what it is. Let me teach you about the properties of what you're handling.
Yes. Yes.
Because you're already an entrepreneur.
Right.
You already know how to do a bunch of stuff.
Right.
But you just don't know that you're doing
Right.
these entrepreneurial things. You don't even know that you got a business that you're doing.
Right.
Let me teach you how to do it the right way and get
Yes.
out of that.
Right.
And how you can use that same information in your head
Yes.
and do something positive with your life.
And you know what? And with that, it takes some of us who have that mindset now to know that there's a possibility for them to make that mind shift.
Yeah.
We have to go out to these communities. And it's something that we're going to be doing on the block, partnering with organizations and individuals, going to some of these drug-infested communities, crime-infested communities, at some of the recreational centers, setting up, engaging with youth, engaging with families, and talking to them about the mindset shift, things, and giving tools and resources. And that's why we want to build partnerships with organizations who are already facilitating these kind of programs to say, hey, let's meet in Inglewood Recreational Center. Let's put out some flyers. Let's advertise this thing. Let's cook some barbecue and some chicken, which is like bait. It's going to pull them in. And then when they get there, start talking to them about the mind shift, the different opportunities that you have. You don't have to think like maybe you saw all your life.
Yeah.
Give testimonies about our individual, struggles and things that we come out of.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but give them tools and resources and encourage them, because a lot of them haven't heard positive reinforcement, just directly to them a lot. Families, some parents are parenting who don't know how to parent, who are still children themselves. And so having the right organizations and the right body of a team of people to go out and say, you know what? It's okay to get a job because I developed skills working on a job that helped me develop the mindset for entrepreneurship.
Yeah. And you can look at, like she was saying, you can look at your job. It doesn't have to be either or. Either I'm an employee or I'm an entrepreneur.
Right.
You can look at your job. Let's say somebody who's listening to this has a business idea, and but you're working for someone. That gives you some stability.
You can speak it right into that camera.
Oh, okay. My bad. That gives you some stability to roll your business out in a very efficient and effective way. And look at your employer as like your investor in your business, because they're giving you a steady income, steady paycheck. So there's no shame in that.
Right.
There's no shame in, like, she started a nail business.
Yeah.
But if you're working for someone, that paycheck, because one of the first things for me being an entrepreneur, one of the hardest things for me to deal with was initially not getting a paycheck on a set schedule. And it was just like mentally,
it's so used to it.
Because when you're so used to being an employee, that's one you can look at your bank account and know however you're getting paid, the first, second Friday of the month, or at the end of the month, whatever, that money's going to be there. Well, when you're an entrepreneur, there's a saying that we use. I teach people, like, you eat what you kill, right? So you got to go out and hunt every day, and
every day.
So that's not a bad thing, because the other benefit of that is if you become a great hunter, you can eat a lot.
That's right.
But you got to learn. You got to learn that.
That's right.
It's a skill.
Yeah.
It's a skill. So I think, like she said, just there's no shame whatsoever in finding a job and having it set up, and especially in today's day and age, because you can work hybrid. You can you can work remote. You online. So it's probably easier today than it ever was. Why I don't complain as much as an entrepreneur. I grew up really close to my grandparents, my maternal grandparents, and my grandfather. I learned so much from how hard he worked, but he would tell me stories, growing up on 79th Street. He worked in a steel mill, and he said, if he missed his bus and had to walk, he said he would be scared, because back in those days, 79th Street was predominantly white. So he said, so he would he just kept his head down, and because he's like, he never know what was going to happen. So I was like, man, who am I today to complain about how hard it is to start a business when I don't have to go through nearly as many roadblocks as he has to go through?
That's good.
The starting line isn't equal, but everybody has the opportunity to learn, adapt, and figure it out.
Yep.
And we can all get to wherever it is we're trying to get to, but we have to know your time and when it started for you, or how it happened may not be equivalent, but it makes the journey no less important or realistic and the opportunity is still presented and it's there for you.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Now, you know, you have, go ahead. About to say something?
Yeah. No, go ahead.
You know, you have a Block community. One thing that I'm hearing from Tacana and Marcus is, you know, that passion, that diligence. There's a scripture that says, look at a man who's diligent in business. He shall stand before kings, and he shall not stand before mere men. The word diligence is the operating word in that. You know, that diligence means stick-to-itness. I'm not going to quit. And now in this age, when you have Google, we have the metaverse, we have all these different access to so much. You can say, how do you start a business? You can just speak it into your phone, and it will show you some principles. Not to say that that's the only way that you go about it, but there are so many resources now that if you really wanted to come out of what they came out of, because back then we didn't have those kind of resources. So like you were just saying, that you really had to have a passionate mindset to say, you know what, I'm not going to allow my circumstance to determine who I'm going to be. And now you have so many more resources to be able to know how to go from step 1 to step 10, how to develop a business, how to shift your mindset. You know, organizations that already have programs and things like that, they are out there. And so it takes an individual, and I'm going to talk to the parents first, because parents, the children will mimic what they see you do in the home. If they see you where you are, trying to take care of the family as best as you can, they're watching everything you do, because we did it. But at the same time, when you start saying a mind shift, I'm not going to always be here. I'm going to reach out for these resources. I'm going to call. I'm going to try to network. I'm going to put myself in places where I can learn from those who are smarter than me about where I'm trying to go. When you do that, your kids will watch you, and they will want to do what you're doing. And so, parents, there's so many resources, and we will, the Block, and also these beautiful people who are we going to be teaming up with them, and we coming out to the communities, and we're going to be coming to the inner cities where there are most crime and drug infested, or where the hope is the least. We want to come out and let you know that you are able, that there's nothing that you can't do when you mind shift, when you put your mind to it and decide, I'm going to be teachable and take these resources and learn. And so the mirroring concept, how important is it when you're teaching a certain group of people, a certain population, that they can see themselves in you, and you've had some of the same struggles that they've had as far as their reception of your message?
So one of the things I teach on is negotiating, right? And one of my primary concepts that I teach about on negotiating is I call it the AAA method, right? So the first A is to acknowledge. So when someone's telling you about whatever their struggle or their obstacle is, you want to first acknowledge that you hear them.
Okay.
Then the second A is to agree or find some level where you can agree with them on. Now, I might not necessarily agree that I'm not going to agree with you that, selling drugs is the best way.
Right.
But I can find some agreement in, hey, I can see how you arrived at that point.
That's good.
So
man.
now they feel heard, they feel some connection. And then the third A is to ask a follow-up question or to redirect them. So, hey, let me ask you, if you had some other options instead of selling drugs, would you consider those options, or have you ever considered any options?
Right.
So now they don't feel like, because one of the things as adults that we tend to do once we get on the other side of something is we tend to talk at kids.
We do. Yes, we do.
And
That's
so,
right.
and kids are great BS detectors.
Yes, sir.
So they're like, hey, I know you're telling me that you struggle, you overcame lupus. That's great for you. I have to live this every night. Now, they don't know that she did that too.
Right.
And probably in maybe, not probably, but maybe in worse conditions than they did.
Yeah.
All they see now is this very put together entrepreneur, very accomplished. It's like, that's great for you. That's not my reality.
Right.
So you guys, like, one of the signs of I've noticed a great teacher, let's say a school teacher, especially when they're teaching little kids, is when they talk to them, you know what they do? They bend down to their level. They don't stand over them and talk to them.
Right.
They get down, they kneel. And say,
Would that be relatability?
Yep. It's even at that young age, a kid knows, okay, you are willing to come down to that, and it's spiritual too.
Right.
What does scripture say? That God became a man, flesh and man,
That's
to come
right.
down to our level so we could relate.
That's
to,
right.
And he could relate to us.
That's
then.
right.
And so
That's right.
So now you approach it
very
that way instead of judgment, or you
Yeah.
need to, which, by the way, our community is typically engaged at that level.
Yes.
You need to stop this. You need to, oh,
Yes.
okay, great. Nobody woke up
Yeah.
this morning and say, hey, I want to go kill like 3 people.
No. Right.
Or I want to go make somebody else's life miserable.
Yeah.
Usually people are doing that out of some pain
Right.
and not feeling seen
That's right.
themselves. So
That's right.
and I listen, I get it. It's frustrating. My heart's out. I know I've seen like there's been a string of business owners in the city who get their, Bronzeville has gotten their businesses broken in. That's painful.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I
that
saw
is painful. So I'm don't want to minimize that
Right.
at all. But the solution isn't hey, talk to them, just do this or just do that. It's going to take it's going to take a plan. It's going to take something long term too.
Right.
Change does not happen overnight
That's
as much
right.
as we want it to.
That's right. The
As much as
follow
we
up
want it
is
to.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The follow up, that's something that when I worked at the juvenile facility as a correction officer, the recidivism rate, what that is of course those who go out and come back in. And so one of the main reasons why the recidivism rate was so high was because there was no aftercare.
Right.
Yep.
When they went home right back to the same environments, right back to the same struggles, right back to the same influences with no aftercare. Nobody grabbing them and say, okay, I got you. Okay, I'm about to help you not go back. Let me redirect you. Let me talk to you. Let me give you some resources. Let me walk that path. And sometimes it may be where they listen to you for a minute and they go right back out. But that person has to stand still and be ready to receive them again.
Yep.
Because it's a process. Change is a process, as you said. But there was no aftercare.
Nope.
And so that's something that we want to develop, with the individuals that we're partnering with, is to not only, like you say, go out and talk to people, families, parents, as well as other youth, but have some aftercare plans, long term for those. And we may not be able to touch everybody, but if we touch a few, it's a domino effect.
Yep.
Because we better believe that there's young people. Young people watch young people.
Yeah, they do.
And especially if it's a young leader, those who follow sometimes watches how they're going to react to certain information they're getting. And if they change, then the other ones will follow. And so that's why it takes somebody, of course, y'all being in business, it takes a good leader recognizes the gifts and talents of those they lead. And then they pour into that person so that they can infect the whole staff or the whole, and okay, if I talk to them, they're going to listen.
Yeah.
If I talk to that person, and that's just really paying attention to the surroundings. And so that's something that we want to, as time go on, as we develop. And so I
want to jump in there really quick because you said something just now, as well as Mark said, and I want to piggyback off of that as far as it relates to the mirroring, right? So one of the things that I do with my students, even when I was in the disciplinary role, I don't deal with the behavior. I deal with the root. Because the teachers that you're talking about that just come in and talk, they're dealing with the behavior. They're dealing with the leaf. Let me put it in practical so we all understand and can see the visual. If I keep dealing with the leaves, some are going to fall. Some never will grow beyond where they are.
Yeah.
But if I deal with the root, then I never have to worry about the leaves.
Yes.
So I feel like as far as mirroring, one of the things that I know that children desperately need, they need to know that you actually can see them. Not as a collective, but individually see them.
Yes.
So my approach to changing how they're operating and how they behave, or even their desire about doing things, is to talk to them about the root cause. Like you mentioned, why did they do certain things or how did they get to that? Because my background for them, and I'm honest, I'm very transparent. I tell them about my family. I tell them about my upbringing. I tell them about my father. I talk about where I could be. And I talk about all of my siblings and how we're all one of my dad. At every given point of his life, we're all operating and functioning today in one area or so of my father. And when that makes them feel relatable, then they understand, okay, I see what you're presenting, but I hear what you understand. And when I communicate with you about why I do what I do, you're not coming at me telling me stop, you're in trouble. I'm not whooping you or trying to beat it out of you, but I'm trying to get you to think outside of the why you ended up resulting that way. So let's go back. And so I will ask questions like, okay, and then what happened? Okay, but what about that? Okay, and then what happened? And it's annoying, but if I keep going, I'm going to get to that root. And when I get to it, some things happen. There's an opening that you can sense as a grown-up. You know when you've hit that nerve for somebody, good and or bad. They get angry, they don't want to talk to you no more. Or they keep coming to you for every little thing that has nothing to do with what you just found out about them. That vulnerability is there. I have students that have graduated high school 5 and 6 years ago that will still reach out to me and say, I know you told me that I don't have to respond. Every action does not deserve my reaction. I don't have to talk just because they did. But my boss did da 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 da. And I wanted to. I said, but did you stand up on the table and twerk or dance or shout or yell? No. I said, why? Why didn't you do that? That's what you used to do. How did it serve you then? Is it serving you? Well, no, now I'm trying to communicate a little bit because I used to teach them restorative justice practices. So it is that mirroring is not always, it's a good thing, but it has to come, as you said, children know. Kids, they got the best BS, and I got one of them too. And they done taught me, you know what I'm saying? They teach you. If you allow them, they will teach you. You have to come into their space to learn. Not to show them what to do. Sometimes you need to be the servant and accept what they bring to the table. And then you can decipher what we gonna eat and what we not gonna eat. And let me explain why we not gonna eat that. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about food. But that's how I communicate, and that's how I've been able to connect with the kids in all different, it doesn't matter what their background is. I'm not afraid of none of them. The background or what they didn't have, the disparity in their home, or the fathers and mothers being incarcerated at the same time, and the kid is trying to. That's what happened to them parents. What we doing? Because me and you here.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? So those are things. That's how I try to mirror with different students and just people in general. Because you get a greater sense of who they are, and then you also get to a space of them becoming vulnerable. And vulnerability is your strength. In all genders.
That's it. That's right.
That's the strongest thing you could ever show is vulnerability. And you have adults today that are not comfortable being around other spaces and other people because it costs them to be vulnerable. And everyone can't pay that fare. So our job is to, when we see the issue with our kids, wanting to become or developing them into any of those things, whatever their dream is. We have to first let them know that dreams are real and they still exist. And you can have them. Multiple. You don't have to be a one-trick pony. You do all the things you want to do.
That's right.
And once they get that clarity and they feel seen because you've given them permission to be, you won.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
You won.
That's
the mirror.
You said vulnerability, and that is the mirror. That's definitely the mirror. That word, that's a powerful word, as you just said. You know why? I just think about, anytime somebody is trying to teach you something new, and you have some things that may hold you back from receiving it because of your trauma, what you've gone through. If I can't open up to allow you to see me, to help me develop a mindset or a mind shift to be able to see that I'm better than where I've been or what I've come through, then I'll throw up the brick wall. And I'll never be able to change because I didn't let anybody in. And so we want to say, Block community, those who are watching, we want you to allow us to come in. With this information that's being shared today, allow us to come in and recognize if some of these things that they have described, and you say to yourself, man, I wish I was able to think more like that. Or I wish I was able to get over this feeling of insecurity and be bold enough to step out beyond, where I am. This is an opportunity today to look at these individuals and mirror and say the struggles that they've shared Maybe some of you are experiencing them, have experienced them. The journeys that they've taken in order to get to where they are. Maybe you can identify with that. But these are proof right here sitting before you that it's possible to develop a different mindset because I'll let you know, they didn't always think the way they're thinking now.
Facts.
I didn't always think the way I'm thinking now. It came over a period of time, but it came with what they were talking about, a mindset shift, reaching out for resources, going outside of your comfort zone, becoming vulnerable, allowing people to see into you so that you can be strengthened in those areas that you may be weak, so that you can be a better parent, to be able to build entrepreneurship or build a success story in your child or build encouragement and motivation and take away the insecurity right in the home. Mm-hmm. Because that will reflect on the outside based upon what's going on the inside of that home. And so today I want to say thank you guys. I think this information that was shared was amazing. I want to talk more about your businesses individually as well. But I want to ask y'all one question. If you can look into the camera and if you can tell that parent and that child who is sitting there and say, okay, I hear what you all are saying, but I'm at a place now, I'm at that line. What would you say to them to get the parent over the line of wanting to be different, wanting to come outside of that comfort zone, wanting to develop a different mindset, as well as the child who may be in the home as well? What would you say to them?
So what I would say to any parent that feels that they're having some struggles, first of all, get to the mirror.
Yeah.
And talk to yourself.
Yeah.
But what you're saying to yourself is vital. Mm-hmm. I need to get out of my way so that I can provide and make a different way than what we've been in.
Yes.
But until I get out of my own way, I'm going to stand in front of my kids' way too.
That's good.
Parents have that sole responsibility.
Yeah.
One, protect the child, teach them, right?
Yes.
Protection to me encompasses all of it. Yeah. Teaching them, loving them, showing them right from wrong. That's your protection, is to do all of those things right. Yeah. But if the parent is in the way of themselves, then not only are they standing in their way of moving forward and breaking free from that victim mindset, or I don't know how. The kid is, as we discussed, the kid is absorbing that. And they also start to stand in their way as well, their own way. And you have a bunch of families. We know adults that are still in their own way. Mm-hmm. We know we've left town. I lived in Texas for 10 years. I moved back home. I came back and I'm looking at people. They're still where they were when I left. Yes. Yes. Because they still stood and are standing in their own way. And their children aren't doing anything after school, after high school. They don't even go to college because mama didn't go to college. Right. They are in their own way. Yes. So that's what I would tell any mom, any dad, get out of your own self's way. So that your kid can see that there can be something different because they see a shift in you. Yes. And even if it doesn't mean that the circumstances have changed, they don't have to change. But if you think you can do it and you just take you a quick nap and dream about it, it can manifest. Yes. The I am that I am is in me. I don't need a book. I don't need a person. I don't need a building. I am. Because that is what I was told. That's right. So I am with all. I am able to do all things. Yes. I can do it. Yes. But I need to get out of my way.
Get out of my way.
Yes, that's good. That's good.
What would you say to a Mark?
I would
get out of my way.
I would tell them, and it's gonna. I keep piggybacking off of her, but I'm gonna say she said a word vulnerability, right? And it's hard, especially in our community, to be vulnerable because just by walking out into the world in our skin color, we're vulnerable. So any additional vulnerability beyond that tends to be harder for us. But however, to have anything in life that's worth it, you're gonna have to put in the work. There's no getting around the work. So I would just say, okay, tune in to your kid's favorite radio station, which is WIIFM. What's in it for me? Yes. Right. So find out what's in it for them. Usually we parent from a standpoint of, this is how I was parented. I'm either going to parent you opposite of the way, in spite of what my parents did to me, or because of this is what I was taught.
Yeah.
We never, I won't say never. It's hard for parents to parent from a standpoint, hey, what's really in today's day and age, what's in your best interest, actually.
Right.
We always think, hey, this is what I didn't have access to. I want to give you a life I never had. Well, what if have you ever asked your kid what they want? And our kids aren't growing up in the same time and age that we are either.
That's right.
So giving them what we never had may not be in their best interest.
Right. That's so true.
So just asking them, hey, what do you need from me to be a better parent?
Yeah.
No, me and my mom are very close. Yeah. My mom's never asked me that. She's a baby boomer, but that's just the generation she came out of. Even if I had to go, I'm gonna go over her house later today. If I go and say, hey, Ma, you should ask me what do you need to do? She'd be like, man, I gave you life, food. You better go on somewhere.
Right. Figure it out. Go figure it out.
But now we're in a different time. She's back in our day, I posted something on my social media yesterday on my stories that said, somebody said, you want to know why Gen X is the way we are? It's like, because we were sitting in a classroom in 1986 and we saw the Challenger shuttle blow up on its way to space. Yeah. And then the TV cart just got rolled out of the room and we just went right back to business as is. There was no counselors called in. There was no, hey, therapy, Right. So while that helped shape us, that doesn't mean that was ideal.
Right.
So now, just like she's created space for these kids to be seen and everything, just create space for your kid. Like, okay, what do you need from me? I'm in sales, and what I've realized is everybody's in sales. Yeah. Everybody's selling something. That's right. She's selling education. That's right. And whatever else. You're trying to sell on the fact, hey, we can do better than where we are right now. Everybody's selling. Your kids, when you get home, your kids don't sell you on something. Yeah. We're all in sales. Just okay, we got to sell from the standpoint of not forcing a sale on somebody, but understanding what they want and helping them to then sell them on the fact that what I have to provide you is in both of our best interests.
That's right.
And typically parenting, we just say, well, you should do this just because this is better. Well, why is it better?
Why is it better? Right.
And our kids aren't stupid. If you look at the things that they do believe in, they believe in Nike, they believe in TikTok, they believe because those products have shown them there's something in it for you.
That's right. That's right.
There's something in it for you.
On display.
It's on display. Yeah. They've done a good job of communicating. There's something in this for you.
That's right.
And so we have to just do it, put systems in place to support that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I hope you guys, Block community, I hope you all heard something from Tacana and Marcus that will really inspire you. For those who are watching, parents and children as well, I just want to read something. This is something I would normally read at the beginning, but Marcus is an entrepreneur, real estate broker, and business leader with more than 10 years of experience. We're going to put a picture of his business on the screen as well. More of 10 years of experience helping clients build wealth and achieve their goals through real estate. Recognized as a top 10% real estate producer nationwide, he has built a reputation for leadership, strategic thinking, and delivering results. In addition to his work in real estate, Marcus is a leadership coach, business strategist, and passionate advocate for personal growth, entrepreneurship, and wealth creation through smart decision making. Marcus, where could they find you if they wanted to contact you if they wanted to buy a home?
Yeah, or if you just had questions about buying a home, again, I know in today's day and age, we have a housing affordability crisis right now. So finding a lot of what we talked about today and being resourceful will help you if you ever want to purchase a home. But anyway, you can find me on all platforms at Property Pro 74. Property Pro 74. And even if you are out of state, if you're catching this, you're out of state, out of country. My thing is just wanting to help people and see as many people win, and I'll win in the process. So awesome. Can we put the picture up of Miss Tacana Henry, Tacana Kitchen LLC? We want to talk a little bit about her business as well. And Tacana, can you kind of expound on the different areas? Now, one thing that she said that stands out on her advertisement, she says, not only do I help individuals or families, I help the world. Man, can you expound on that a little bit about the areas that you...
Yes, I the reason that I say that is because I'm not local.
Come on now.
I'm global.
Yes.
The vision that I have and what I do is not a centralized, small, it's just here.
Yeah.
I have my licenses in multiple states.
Yeah.
I have clients in Argentina. I do consulting work everywhere.
Yes.
If you want to find me and find how to reach me, I'm on all social media platforms as Tacana's Kitchen. And I'll spell it Tacanas Kitchen, Kitchen. You can find me on all places. And the reason I say that it's everywhere is because why can't it be?
That's right.
I don't have
No
to
limit.
just be here in Chicago to do meal prep consulting for you. You can be across the world and I can still teach you how to live better, be better. You need some holistic information or some practices or some things that are helpful for you as far as getting your mind in order
Yes.
and feeding yourself outside of just your belly.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have to be in the same city as you to do that.
That's right.
So that's the reason I say these are the things that I add to the world.
And so she specializes in food plus wellness, healthy holistic meal preparation, private chef dining experiences, customized family meal solutions, wellness-based nutrition and healing through food, life and family support, which encompasses final family arrangements and repast catering, celebration of life, custom menus, stress-free event meal planning, education and empowerment, full service events, and also Kana's Remedy. As she mentioned earlier, and I'm going to give those who are watching a surprise of who Tacana is. This is who she is to the world. But this is my sister, y'all. This is my biological sister. This is who she is to me. I love her dearly.
I love you too.
And she has mentioned about being diagnosed with lupus, and as a result of Kana's Remedies, which is herbal teas and natural remedies, plant-based healing solutions, a balm experience, products. As a result of that, they can't find anything in her body that's any traces of lupus in her body as a result of the balm experience. And so you can find Tacana at www.tacanaskitchen.com and also 872-267-COOK. And she says you should let me feed you.
That's what I was going to say. And my slogan is you should let me feed you because I would love to.
Awesome. That's awesome. And so we want to just thank Tacana and Marcus for being with us. And as we said, this is a solution-based podcast. And so we want to give you, there's a school. We want to put some information about a school called the ARC Entrepreneur Business Center. It is on the west side of Chicago. On your screen, you can see it's at 2458 Millard Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. We have the number on the screen as well. Were you all able to get the video to upload? This school is a school from 7th grade all the way up to 12th that they teach business and entrepreneurship. Nice. They teach every skill set of business. They teach, how to advertise, market, how to develop an LLC, the different types of businesses. They're teaching teenagers these things. And then also in the summertime, they have a program where they all out on the street advertising their businesses, and it's a competition.
That's good.
And they pay, and they have a purse. They win something as a result of their business display. People are walking around, they're explaining their businesses. And I'm talking about these are professional. The setups are awesome. And so the block is also going to be out there this summer, and we'll be giving you some information about that. We're going to be on location at that particular event. But the information that we gave you, of the address, you can reach out to the school, the ARC Entrepreneurship Center, .com, and you'll find out all the information you need to know about the organization. And that is a opportunity for those who are watching who want their children to be involved in business and to get the skills that are necessary to build that in them. And so we want to offer that solution. We're going to be partnering with them and also doing different events with them as well. Were you able to get the video? Okay. Check this out, y'all. This is the boss experience that they have once they finish. They have the kids set up their businesses.
Hello everyone, it's Pastor Noah here with the ARC Entrepreneurial Center and our CEO,
Connie Davis Nicholson.
We're so glad to have y'all with us. Listen, we're out here all day from 10 to 5 with the Youth Boss Expo. What this is all of the young people are coming out showcasing their businesses that they've started. The ARC Entrepreneurship is about teaching young people how to create companies, create businesses. not just get a job, but create a job. And so we've been doing this now since 2019. And so now this is just one of the showcases we do each year. So the block is closed off. They got their things out there, all their businesses, they're selling. We got a lot of free food out here too. Just a festive time for them to showcase all the things that they've done.
So we're just really, really excited that our young people get to showcase some of their businesses that they have started over the summer, over the years, and they just keep growing and keep just having amazing opportunities with the community, especially the fact that they get to sell these amazing products to the community. They make a lot of money, which I really love for them to see. It kind of really pumps them up about entrepreneurship. And then they get to win prizes. So we have 3 prizes here. First prize is $1,000, second prize is $500, and the third prize is $250. So our parents have worked closely with their kids as well. Parental engagement is so huge. So we're very excited that even our parents, they come out and they help our kids with some of the businesses and their direct decorations and all of those things.
Yeah, we're really blessed too to be in the community that we're in. We're in like Lawndale and Little
Black
Village.
and brown.
So we black and brown. So we do both. We get African American students, we get Hispanic students, Latinx students, and they just gel together. Sometimes we get students in that don't even speak English, and within a matter of a few months, they're starting to speak really good English. And so when I'm teaching classes, I'll have to bring up some of my students that's been here for a little bit, and they will interpret for me. So I'll get them to interpret what I'm saying in English, they interpret it in Spanish for the few that we have that don't speak both languages yet. But you'll be shocked how quickly they pick up both languages. It's amazing how that happens.
It's one of the things that our parents actually love. We have a lot of young kids, immigrant children coming from different countries. And one of the things that the parents love about our program is the fact that the kids catch on really quickly with English. So that's one of our great things that we have here. But needless to say, we hope that you can come and support us, if not this year, definitely next year. We always celebrate it like the last week of the summer. And well, not the last week of the summer, but the last week of like July
or August, or the 1st of August, right around that time. So look for it online. You'll see the flyers coming out online. So we're glad to have you come be with us.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for watching.
Awesome. That's the ARC Entrepreneur Center. And I wanted to show that whole video so that you all can see what they do as far as it is an amazing event. I've never been to it, but I know a guy, the guy that I met who was a part of the school, he's the one, actually, he used to go to Hyde Park. He used to go to school with us. He was the one kind of highlighting how beneficial it was to the community, not only to the kids who are in the program, but for the community to come out and kids to see other children with their own businesses and selling the items and really explaining the business professionally as if they've been doing it for 20 years. You know, and so we're going to be out there this summer on location. We're going to be giving you some information about that. So we want to say thank Tacana Henry and also Marcus Rembert for joining us today. And I want you all, Block community, to continue on with us on this journey as we continue next week on The Block.
Everybody on the porch, having conversations 4 doors down, and it never really stopped the flow. Time when it wasn't apparent who's the parent, cause the shorty got out of hand, anybody mama's